Luna trolls Freddy Krueger. Freddy hovered above the bed of a newlywed couple, a sly grin on his face. He always loved haunting the dreams of couples. The payoff was always so sweet. Around the same time, a bluish alicorn appeared at his side, giving him a disapproving stare. Freddy had to admit that this was new for him. "What in Hades are you supposed to be?" He examined it up and down for a few minutes as he waited for it to speak, although he wasn't even quite sure himself why he expected it to. Luna frowned down at him and replied,
"I am Princess Luna, guardian of the moon and everything related to the night. I also watch over every pony's dreams in multiple dimensions. I've been watching what you've been up to for a while now, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to take you down to the station. For, you see, I am also the head chief of the Dream Police."
Freddy let out a scoff. "You are head of the Dream Police? What are you going to do? Tickle me until I agree to go downtown with you? I'll believe it when I see it. Until then, Pony Princess, I'm going to keep haunting people's dreams, starting with this lovely couple right here." A sly grin formed on Luna's face, and she said,
"Well then, continue if you must, but I will pursue you into every dream until you give up and come to the station with me."
Freddy didn't even bother answering her. He rolled his eyes and hopped into the dream of the couple sleeping below. Luna shook her head and let out a heavy sigh.
"They never just want to come to the station the easy way,"
she lamented as she hopped into the dream after him. Freddy was now in the dream of the couple below. From fragments of information he picked up in the dreamscape, he discovered that the woman's name was Karen and the man's name was Harold. He made a disgusted face at the blandness of their given names. "Well, you might as well be called Mary Sue and Gary Stew," he observed, as he became more aware of the dreamscape around him. In the first dream he stumbled into, Karen was baking a cake in the kitchen. She was apparently hosting some kind of neighborhood party and was busy baking all of the treats and assembling the rest of the party snacks for the event. "You know what every good party needs?" Freddy asked, as he walked over to the punch bowl set out onto the kitchen table. "A punchline," he finished, as he spiked the punch with poison. He faded back into the dreamscape as Karen was just finishing up in the kitchen and was set to serve all of the refreshments to the guests. Luna had been watching everything that Freddy was up to from an obscured corner of the room, so as Karen went to serve the refreshments, she casted a spell to get rid of the poison that Freddy had placed in the punch bowl previously. She also cast another spell to make everyone fall in love with everything that Karen made for the party. Freddy watched in anticipation as the guests began to drink glasses of punch one by one. He was shocked when he saw that none of the guests seemed to be affected. "Maybe it takes a while for the poison to kick in," he mused, keeping a close watch on the festivities. But to his horror, none of the guests seemed to be affected by the spiked punch at all. There wasn't one guest who writhed in agony and died the entire duration of the party, and they even thought that the things that Karen had made were the best things that they'd had in ages. "But I was sure that I'd cursed all the food when she brought it out," Freddy said, more confused than ever to what was going on. She must have some resistance having her dreams tampered with. I hate these kinds of people. They are such party poopers," he seethed, as he hopped out of Karen's dream back into the dreamscape. The next dream that he found himself in was Harold's. He was in a room filled top to bottom with trophies that had his name scrawled on them. Some were trophies of playing chess, some were trophies for being the best dad of the year. Freddy shot Harold a devious grin, even though Harold couldn't see him. "So, you like to win, hmm? What if all these trophies all said that you were a loser? Oh, what would you do then, Gary Stew?" Freddy changed the title on each trophy to say, "The greatest loser there ever was," before fading into the background and waiting to see Harold's reaction to the new labels on the trophies. Luna had once again been watching everything Freddy was up to from a hidden place behind a large pile of trophies near the back of the room. So right after Freddy put the fake labels on the trophies, she cast the spell that made them say, "Harold is the best at everything." Harold picked up a nearby trophy, and when he saw the new words etched on them, his eyes sparkled with delight.
Oh, this is so much better than what I usually dream,
he said as he went back to admiring the many trophies surrounding him. Freddy grinded his teeth, annoyed that there was another person who could not be affected by his power over dreams, so he hopped out of Harold's dream back into the dreamscape and ran through towards the section where all the children's dreams gathered. He stopped when he was in the dream of what appeared to be a little girl. The little girl was playing some sort of video game with her friends at a sleepover. Freddy rubbed his hands deviously and said, "Oh, it'll be like taking candy from a baby," as he hopped into her dream without a moment's hesitation. As he fell into her dream, he gathered pieces of information about her, her friends, and where she lived. The girl's name was Samantha, and the two friends sleeping over were named Lisa and Susan. Freddy was now in the room where the girls were all playing Super Smash Bros. On the Wii. "Oh, so you like to play games, huh? Well, what if the games played you?" he barked as he cast a dark cloud around the Wii gaming console. Luna was a little late showing up this time around, but she managed to just catch the moment after Freddy had cast a dark magic around the gaming device. So, she used her magic to dispel it and replace it with a different aura. All at once, the gaming console shone a few different colors, and the girls found themselves transported to the Smash Brothers world.
Wow, this is so cool,
said Susan, who had transformed into a version of Princess Peach.
I know, right?
Said Lisa, who was now sporting Link's outfit from the game.
Now we can experience everything firsthand,
said Samantha, who had turned into a version of Kirby. The girls giggled in delight and went on to use all of the moves from the game on each other in real time. They found that if one of them was defeated, they would just pop back onto the screen again for another round of fun. Freddy's mouth flew open in utter shock. What? What is going on? Everyone can't be resistant to my dream magic. It's impossible! Freddy busted out of Samantha's dream and ran through the dreamscape with Luna trailing close behind him. Freddy spent the rest of the evening trying his hardest to haunt people's dreams. He tried to make construction equipment fall on a construction worker, crushing him in his sleep. He tried to make an ice skater fall and break both of her legs. He attempted to make a pilot's plane stall and fall out of the sky, crashing nose first into the ocean below. But everything he attempted went wrong somehow. The construction worker got a better working machine, the ice skater gave the best performance of her life and even won a gold medal, and the pilot flew his plane all around the world 2 times, setting a new world record. Freddy didn't want to admit it, but it seemed like he was losing his touch. And if this wasn't bad enough, he kept receiving prank calls from who he could only assume was that annoying pony princess, as she was the only being in the multiverse that could possibly have his number. The prank calls went as followed. Prank call number 1. The phone rang as Freddy was on his way to haunt the dream of an attorney. Freddy answered it, a bemused expression on his face. "Listen, princess, I know this is probably you, and I'm not going to your little pony jail or whatever, so we can just hang up already."
Princess, this is P.W. Morgan with the Villain Price Patrol. You've won $200 million. What is the best address that we can reach you at?
You're not gonna go away until I play along. Are you?
Well, no. The Villain Price Patrol always finds its target.
Fine. Whatever. I don't have an address. I'm dead. So you can give the prize to someone else.
Why, most people in the Villain Price Patrol are already dead, Sonny. Just look at Jason.
Jason doesn't have an address either. I'm hanging up now. Freddy clicked the end button on his cell phone and jumped into the dream of the attorney. But despite his best efforts, the attorney won his case. Prank call number 2. The phone buzzed once more as Freddy made his way into the dream of a beautician. He always liked haunting the dreams of hairstylists. There was just so much great material to work with, but, well, his joy was cut short by the incessant ringing of his cell phone, so he begrudgingly answered it. I know it's you again. I'm kind of busy right now, so can you call back later?
Again? I don't know what you're talking about. This is my first time calling.
Freddy rolled his eyes. Yeah, sure it is. Well, what do you want?
I want you to answer a question. You are live on the Villain airwaves.
Whatever. What question do you want me to answer so you'll go away?
Why, it's a simple question, sir. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Freddy groaned. This is the oldest joke in the book, and I'm not following through. Goodbye now. Freddy ended the call and set out to make the beautician's dream a living nightmare. But much like the attorney's dream, despite his best efforts, the beautician won the haircutting competition and everything turned out for the better. Prank call number 3. Freddy was on his way to haunt the dream of a florist when his cell phone's ringtone blasted at full volume. He groaned and answered it once more. Look, I'm kinda getting tired of this, so could you stop calling already?
I'm not sure what you're talking about, but this is Mrs. Fiddlesticks with Villain Home Cooking, and your recipe was chosen as the best entry in our recipe contest.
Freddy slapped his right hand on his forehead. I've never entered a recipe contest, and I know that you are that annoying pony princess, so can I just go now?
Oh, but your recipe was so good that we've made it into an actual product. Villain Flakes will be in stores starting January. Congratulations!
First of all, that is a really lame name for a cereal. And second of all, I'm hanging up now. Bye! Freddy pressed the end button and jumped into the dream of the florist. But much like the other dreams, the florist's dream ended happily with her having the most successful shop in town. After hours of dealing with prank phone calls and unsuccessful hauntings, Freddy was worn out. He sat on a stump in a forest portion of the dreamscape and let out a sigh. I remember when I could just haunt people in their dreams and they'd die, he lamented, reminiscing on the good old days. Around that time, Luna appeared in front of him with a smirk on her face. Freddy looked up at the new visitor and pouted when he saw that it was just the pony princess again. Oh. It's you. I suppose you still want to take me down to the station?
That's the idea,
she said, taking out a pair of handcuffs from her saddlebag. Freddy stood up from his stump and crossed his arms over his chest. Well, you aren't going to make me go. I'm not going to be in some kind of jail cell when I could be having the time of my afterlife in the dreamscape. I might not be able to haunt people's dreams anymore, but I'm still Freddy. If I can't haunt dreams, I'll make people have the best dreams ever, and there ain't no one who's gonna stop me. Freddy popped out of the forest dreamscape and into the nearest dream. It was a baker who was entering a cake into a competition. Freddy casted a spell on the cake to make it the best one in the show, and the baker ended up winning first prize. Yeah! Ugh, Freddy still got it, he said as he spent the rest of the night making everyone's dreams the best ones they'd have in ages. Back in Canterlot, the capital city of Equestria, Celestia just started to raise the sun when Luna walked into her room, a smile on her face.
Oh, hello, sister,
said Celestia as she finished raising the sun high above the land.
Good morning, sister. I just got back with dealing with a little problem in the Earth dreamscape. I see, answered Celestia, walking out onto her room's balcony with Luna following close behind. So, I take it that the suspect has been fully reformed, and will be taking over your many duties in the Earth Dream Realm? Luna smiled. Yes. I believe that he has learned his lesson about tampering with other people's dreams. Celestia raised an eyebrow at Luna. You didn't go too hard on him, did you? Luna shrugged. I just showed him how it felt to be the one who was trolled for a change. Celestia giggled. Well, I suspect that our friends will think twice before he tries his little dream antics again. Luna nodded and the two laughed upon thinking about what Freddy Krueger must have gone through when he was being taught a very harsh lesson about being kind to others. When the laughter calmed down, Luna proceeded to tell her sister all about the adventures in the dreamscape as a new day in the land of Equestria begun. Oh man, this story goes to show you that oldies are still goodies. This was so enjoyable. Anyway, I'd like to give a very special thank you to my very enjoyable donators. Yoshi Super Saiyan 2, Peter Coulthard, Dresdon, Dospo, RuneScythe 9852, CourierCruz CI, David D. Sanchez, Dwight Cornel, Gagi, Secret Moon, ORIAN KAIJU, Starlight Glimmer, Trey, Pokekillerzach, SoulDragon, Britton, Joe Pierce E, and Reno. Thank you all very much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one.